Bendiciones, my fairy bombas. If you're new to my channel, give me a minute. Espérate. That means hold on. I gotta roll up my window. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Michelle, Mishi, Brooklyn. We go by different names here, but one thing I need y'all to know is that today I was feeling inspired to do something different, to change up the routine. And I guess if you're going to dream big, then go for it. So I was thinking and thinking and thinking. I'm like, what can I do? What are my talents? And how can I come up with something that could be impactful, right? So I was thinking, and I had the Nikki Tutorials palette here, and I was like, wow, here it goes. Espérate. Why don't I just go ahead and issue a challenge, a royal decree? So hear me out. Nikki Tutorials, right? I'm relatively a small creator in comparison to, the empire that you have built, right? And I'm realizing that your girl, she could use a little mentorship, right? She could use a little mentorship. So while I shoot my shot, I was thinking, how can I be innovative and make it some sort of like challenge, something worth your while, right? Something for you to pay attention, something that sticks out. So hear me out, Nikki. Here's what I was thinking. Boom, here's the setup. A royal decree and the beauty community has been made today if you choose to accept it, right? I want to challenge you, right? The challenge is I oftentimes go live. Well, most of my YouTube career has been going live, and I'm sort of strong at that. That's like kind of like my strong suit. I'm able to deliver a video, side tangents included, relatively at a decent time. So with that being said, you being the makeup MUA that you are, amongst other things, I was thinking, how about I challenge you to go live on your channel? Turn off the comments so you get no help from your glow babies. You call your family over there your glow babies. I call my family over here my fairy bombas. So no pun intended, but pun intended. I don't know. My fairy bombas, they be dropping the bombs. They be coming with that heat. So this could be like a good fun challenge for both of us. And go live, turn off your comments, and deliver a full makeup tutorial the way you want to do it. Any type of look you want to create, but you have to be entertaining. There's no editing, no transitions. Also, do it on your phone. Set up the phone yourself. No lighting, no nothing. Just like bare bones, just you, the camera, and then turn it on. Boom. And come up with a makeup look and do a full face. So since I was feeling inspired and the thought came to my head, and before I can talk myself out of it, I was like, shoot your shot, girl. Issue this challenge and see what happens. So with that being said, I'm going to start on the makeup look. And what I really want to emphasize is that, oftentimes in our lives, we can get in a state of where we just feel like there's no end, where we're just like, when are things going to get better? And we have that internal dialogue that like constantly plays in our head. And, this internal pressure and this societal pressure oftentimes to just have our life together. And I'm here to show you and be a living testament that, life has its ups and its downs, and it's all about how you decide to react to it. Are you going to allow it to keep you stagnated? Or are you going to say, okay, this didn't work, so now I'm going to try this and I'm going to try that. And you're going to keep on trying. And that's just the name of the game. So with that being said, hydration is key first, and we're going to hydrate. Throw a couple of little manifestations. Let's go ahead and manifest Nikki Tutorials watching this video. Also, here's a part 2 to it, Nikki. Hear me out. I know this is a challenge, but if you see my potential, I would really, really love it if you would consider mentoring me. Yeah, mentor me, and I don't know, maybe it could be like, you know how like in New York they have like the house cultures, and it'll be like the house of extravaganza, the house of la beija. I was never into the ball community because I grew up in Brooklyn and I didn't know about that. Like Manhattan, I remember the first time I went to Manhattan, and I know this sounds crazy because being from New York, you're like, I remember the first time I went to Manhattan, I was 11 years old. I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I grew up in the projects. And one thing about growing up in the projects, you don't really get the opportunities to leave the projects unless you know somebody elsewhere. And we didn't really know anybody. We grew up in Brownsville, like that whole area. So growing up in the hood, I never really got the opportunity to leave the hood until I was older. And I remember the first time I went to Manhattan, I thought it was a whole new world. I was like feeling like the train was the magic carpet and I was Princess Jasmine and I entered a whole new world. And it was crazy, like just all the buildings. And being from New York, you're like, really? But I remember the first time I went to Manhattan and I saw Central Park and all of that. It made me feel like there's a world outside of the hood. And my friends, they used to make fun of me growing up. They used to call me like, oh, like I never really fit in because I liked musicals. I loved reading books. I didn't like to go outside and do bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like innocent and things like that. You know, like, I don't know. I really stood to myself because I never felt like I really fit in. And like, I always got bullied a lot growing up. And my friends, my friends that, I don't take any offense to it when I think about it and the longevity of it. But I don't take offense to it. But, things were different back then. So, my girlfriends, they always used to defend me and always stand up for me when I used to get bullied and stuff like that. But sometimes they just wanted to have fun and they wanted to. So I used to I know they never said it. They would never tell me to my face, like sometimes we wished it and we didn't have to always have to fight with somebody because of you. But I could see it in their face sometimes, I could see it. And that was a different time back then. So I realize now that things are progressively getting different, but still they're not there yet. And with yesterday being the Transgender Day of Visibility, I had this whole video planned and I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't find the words to express how it feels to live in a world where your existence is something to even have to be spoken about. As a transgendered woman, I always am eventually faced with the question of my gender and my sexuality. It's like the topic of conversation, whether people choose to admit it or not. Everybody has a curiosity. They're like, but the boobs, but do you have the surgery? Do you not have the surgery? And it's just one of those things that as a transgender woman, you have to deal with from everyone. And it's ironic that the day is called Trans Day of Visibility. If you guys aren't familiar, it's on March 31st. It's a day that was founded by a transgender activist by the name of Rachel Crandall in 2009. It was in response to the frustration that the only other day that highlighted the transgender experience was Trans Day of Remembrance, which is November 20th, a day to memorialize and mourn the lives that were taken by senseless acts of hate from our trans brothers and sisters. And that was the only other day, a day to mourn the aftermath of the hatred and the transphobia that we constantly face. And even though we've made so much strides, a day like Trans Day of Visibility would have never been a thing, just as a few years as 20 years ago. I mean, just like in the 1950s, we were still fighting for gay rights. And I think that oftentimes we tend to forget that, yes, we're making strides, but we're still not there. We're still completely not there. And I was perplexed and I didn't know how to convey the frustrations of existing in a world where you are not the status quo. You are not the base model. You are not Adam or Eve. You are other. So because you don't fit in this small conceptualized frame of being and existing in a world that this is how they've done it, all, this is how we've always done it. Think about it. It's embedded in our culture, the strong emphasis that that sex and gender plays in our society. Think about it. When a woman gets pregnant, boom, the first thing everybody wants to know, are you going to have a girl or a boy? When are you going to find out? A girl or a boy? There's just a strong emphasis. We created celebrations over it, gender reveals. Like gender reveals. There's been a gender reveal that I saw that started a fire one time, and then a gender reveal that two people, I think, lost their lives in a helicopter over a gender reveal. We've created a celebration over finding out someone's gender because from that moment on, that's how you determine what is expected of this human being before they're even born. Think about it. When it's a boy, you get blue, you get cars and things that are associated or normally associated with boys. And then if it's a girl, you get pink, and people know what to get you for your baby shower based on the gender. And it's just a part of what we've always done. So to challenge that and to bring a different perspective and say, hey, how do I explain to you and paint a vivid picture of how it feels to exist in a world where your existence isn't deemed normal, it's deemed abnormal. And now that I have a social platform dealing with the social pressures of feeling obligated because people expect when you are open about who you are, that you're supposed to be an advocate. You're supposed to be the one to educate. So now the responsibility goes on you and it falls on you. And it's like, well, who better to teach us about trans issues than a trans person themselves? And you have already disclosed that you're trans, so why can't you answer the questions of what's in between your legs? Have you had the surgery? How do you have breasts? These invasive questions that trans individuals are oftentimes bullied and gaslit to talk about. And we have no freedom to just exist in a world where our cisgendered and cisgendered, meaning that you identify with the sex that you are born with, you exist in a world where your existence isn't questioned. There's no conversation over it. As a cisgendered female, you don't exist in a world where somebody comes up to you and asks you, when did you know you were a girl? Do you have a vagina in between your legs? So when I hear these comments and these questions that people ask me, it's not that I don't want to answer them, is that I want to change the conversation and make you realize that the fact that we've normalized questioning and almost like this modern day witch hunt, the modern day Salem trials, like it's like I'm wearing a scarlet T for trans. And at the moment that I'm discovered, I'm no longer Mishi. I'm the girl with that becomes a taboo. I become a big question mark. Like, we need to know. We need to know how you exist, how you are even here. And it's like, I don't have the privilege to live in a world where I get to just be. I don't. And people perceive me being passable as being able to live a life of normalcy because, quote unquote, I don't look trans. And I've heard it in my comments before. There's people that still speculate if I'm trans or not because they don't believe it. They see a face and they believe that because it looks this way and the society will deem it acceptable and female presenting, whatever that may mean, because I thought that all females look different. I didn't think that there was one secular way for females to look. But if you're deemed what society perceives as what is feminine presenting, then you're able to live a life of false security. a false security, because at any moment, you know, at any moment, in the same respect, you know, and this is not to isolate any one person, but one thing that I feel like I need there to be an understanding is that we have boxed in people based on their gender. And there's certain things that are expected of each gender that if you don't fall or match, it becomes a question. And as a woman, I've had to sit and have conversations with my sisters, and sisters meaning my fellow females, my fellow women, right? And hear conversations of, why don't you have children? Why are you not married? Do you want kids? And just this societal pressure that the definition and defining moment of being a woman is when you have children. So I've had to deal with these uncomfortable conversations and just feeling terrible about myself and feeling less than, and feeling like I'm always going to be the woman looking through a two-way mirror. I'm never going to be a part of that world because it doesn't matter what I have in between my legs, because it didn't start the natural way. I will always be reduced to such a small part of my body. When you think about it, your genitals is such a small part of your body. And when you think about it, if who you are is just your body, I feel like I've transcended that. I feel like I'm more than just this shell that people have put on a stage and expected me to dance and perform and explain and become a teacher simply because I exist. And I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been able to speak about it. I haven't been able to talk about it, and I feel oftentimes isolated. Like, I don't know. Sorry if that got real, but I think I just have a lot of, stuff on my chest that I wish that if the one thing that I can offer to the conversation in the trans space is that think about how it feels to live in a world where you have to even explain yourself. And people say you don't, but then think about it. Absolutely think about it. If I was to meet a man, I know that it's just human nature that people are going to have questions about it. People are going to have their opinions about it. I will never get to just be a girl who meets a guy at a bookstore and we exchange numbers and I never have to explain to him anything. No, I will never get to just be the girl. I will never get to be the girl that, and for a long time, it feels lonely. It feels absolutely lonely. Doesn't matter how many years you dedicate to someone or you're with them. Just like that. They have a baby. Something that you couldn't give them. Not in that way. So then when you go to work and people ask you, why don't you have kids? You don't want kids? Look, you're not getting any younger. You're close to 30. Like, what are you waiting for? And you awkwardly laugh. And you're like, no, I just want to find the right one. Because in that moment, you feel like, I don't know, like you don't fit in. Almost like you're an imposter. I can't find a bronzer. So I'm just going to go ahead and dip into the palette and see what I can make happen. What magic I can make happen with these colors. Okay, there's a color called 5 a.m. that maybe I can just buff out and make sheer. I'm dipping into the Nikki Tutorials palette. Ooh, that's dark. I don't know if that's going to work, but okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, that's not that intimidating. I just had to buff it out in the back of my hand. Okay, Nikki Tutorials. This 5 a.m. is not that bad. Okay, hello. Oh, guys, I'm just going ahead and I'm going to show y'all how easy it is. This is just like a regular brush. I think this is a powder brush by Manic. And I'm just going to, no rhyme or reason, I'm just darkening my forehead because I got, you know, a forehead. And then this part right here. And then this part right here. And you saw that I used the Fenty Skin, the Fat Water, and the SPF Moisturizer. And boom. I guess brown glow. And then I do my nose. Because I don't really like to alter my features. I just like to just enhance whatever's there. And I like to make it simple, simple, simple. I don't like makeup to be fussy or complicated because I get frustrated. Sometimes I'll be watching these makeup MUAs. And that's why I felt like I couldn't really put my hat into the MUA ring. I never felt confident enough that if I put makeup enthusiasts or MUA and I do makeup tutorials that I had something to offer to the makeup space. But I realized that, you know, the way I do makeup, the way I do things is unique to me. And it's something that I need to see as talent because it is talent and it is a contribution to the beauty space that can be a different perspective when it comes to makeup. My following is very diverse and I know that there's a lot of individuals that I've gotten to meet through this whole process that have told me, you know, the makeup looks good on you, but I don't think I could ever pull that off and I wouldn't even know how to do it. And, you know, these other tutorials, they be having like these brushes and then you don't have the brushes or maybe you don't have the makeup because the makeup is expensive. I don't want anybody to feel like I just found the bronzer. Can you believe that? I just found the bronzer. It always works out like that, but this 5 a.m. left me a little bronze. Well, it left me bronze a lot, honestly, but we're going to fix it. We're going to work it out. Trust the process. Unless I didn't bring my blush. If I didn't bring my blush, forget about it. I'm going to look balida. I'm going to look pale. Oh, no, I brought my blush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of translucent powder, but if you don't, you know what? I don't even need translucent powder. I'm going to show you how easy this is to do it. I'm going to take this palette. Now, if you don't have the Nikki Tutorials palette, do not despair. Any palette that has a shimmer will do. Now, I'm going to show you a trick that makes all of this so much easy. You don't got to worry, fuss, fight about none of this. It's so simple. It's so, so simple. I'm going to show you. You take a shimmer of your choice. I'm going to take Aura because it's like this peach coral right here. My finger. I had a little wipey and I washed my hands. Take it like that in your hand. Now that you have it in your hand, put that down because you do not want to break anything. And then you just close your eyes and pat it. Now you're like, ooh, that color is not going to look good on me. Hear me out. The bright colors really do all the work. It makes it look like you've spent hours on your makeup when really you didn't. There was no rhyme or reason. You just take one dry, clean finger and you ombre it out into whatever particular shape you want. If you want like a half circle. And then you just continue to go back and forth into that color with your fingers. No makeup brush. You don't need to do all nothing fancy. So I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't think I could do makeup. I don't think I could do makeup. Yes, you can. Can we build it? Yes, you can. Bob the Builder said you could build it. And you know what? I'm going to keep it $150 with you. You know, when I was building the camper, I really, really had to revert back to my kid days because I'm like, Bob the Builder really, really did tell you, can we fix it? Yes, we can. He always found a way to fix the problem. And I know this sounds crazy, but as a child, thinking about these like cartoons and these cartoons nowadays that like kids be watching, they be watching like Family Guy and all this inappropriate stuff. And I'm not judging nobody. Like, hey, I'll be watching it too. But I grew up watching like actual cartoons that like inspired you. Like I remember, oh my God, I felt like, and you know what, to this day, I still want a Barney bag. Because when Barney pulled out the bag of imagination, and I was like, what can we make today? With imagination in the Barney bag, we see what we can make today. Yeah, we see what we can make today. And then reading rainbows. Butterflies in the sky. I can go twice as high. Just take a look. It's in a book with reading rainbows. I can do anything. Just take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbows. The one thing and the reason why that song always, always inspires me, te lo juro, it inspires me. Reading books as a child gave me the ability when my reality was hard and it was hard to deal with and swallow, and it was maybe not the easiest moments of my life, I was able to open up a book, open up a fairy tale, and read about all the things that the princess will have to endure from her evil stepwitch, her evil stepsister, and how badly she'll be treated, or she'll locked away in a tower with a dragon and like literally she can't leave, and all of these things, and how it always had a happily ever after. All these books always had a moral to the story, and it made me feel like for a brief moment, even if it wasn't a book, I was teleported to a place other than where I was at. Barney taught me how to use my imagination so that the brief moments where I was able to play and be myself, free from other people's gazes and their expectations of who I was supposed to be. In those brief moments where I was able to twirl and be a Sailor Scout and be a girl, I used everything to teach myself that I could be anything I want to be. And it was that belief and that dream and those inspirational words that always rung in my head. A song that never stopped playing. A song of victory, A song that you can do anything, period. I'm not going to cry. I'm crying because, like, I really come a long way. I really came a long way from that little girl. I'm a strong woman now. A real strong woman. I did not mean to cry on y'all. I didn't. I did not mean to cry on y'all. But it's okay. Even with the tears, the makeup is still going to be flawless. I'm going to show y'all how easy it is to transform those tears into magic. Now, this is very user-friendly. If you mess up, just wipe it away. It doesn't matter. We're not aiming for perfection. We're not aiming for cut creases. We're aiming for whatever our makeup wants to do. And it's going to look good because it's on us. Makeup doesn't make who you are. It just enhances. Always remember that. This is an enhancement. If we shine, the makeup will shine. And we'll shine bright like a diamond. Boom. Both eyes. You see? No rhyme or reason. I did it right here. And then if you want to tap it to bring it up higher, there you go, right? You don't really got to be all fussy about it. Boom. That's how we do it, right? Now, to just really enhance that, we're going to take a little packer brush, right? Just one makeup brush, but honestly, you can just build with your finger if you want to. And I'm going to take a little bit of this fat water in the back of my hands, and I'm going to wet my brush, and I'm going to go back into Aura, and I'm going to just really concentrate it in the middle because I really want to pack the shine in the most impactful place, which is the middle of your eyeball. I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, I could be what I want to be. Yo, you really got to be singing the inspirational songs. You got to build. I have a personal playlist that I call my Never Give Up playlist. And if you guys are interested, I will share the songs on my playlist. I don't know. Can you create a playlist on Spotify and I could share the link? And I could put some of my favorite songs that inspire me. If you guys are interested, if you're ever like in a moment where you feel down and you just need something to hype you up, I could share my playlist with you guys. I touched my nose with this makeup and now I got glitter underneath my nose. So now I'm just gonna buff the edges of this because we don't want it to look messy. There you go. Simple, 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 right? It's hot in this car. Why am I in the car? Because I'm headed to my P.O. box and I really am torn about it. But I'm not going to let anybody steal my shine. So no matter how torn I am about it, I am going to echar pa'lante. Echar pa'lante is to push forward. Now, I'm going to show you how to make makeup look like you spent hours on it and you didn't. It's all about minimal effort with high reward. The reason why I use a shimmer is that you can make a shimmer messy and make it look avant-garde. You can make it look high fashion. When it comes to mattes, that requires blending. Like that requires makeup brushes and all that extra fluff and juju. We don't got that. We got what we got and we're going to work with what we got. And I have my fingers and I worked with my fingers. So you use a shimmer for that. Now, this is hashtag not sponsored, but LA Girl, this Shock Wave Neon liner, this right here, you just pop this in your inner waterline. And I know people think that's weird to put something in your eye, so I'm gonna do this off camera. And I'm using my rear view mirror to do it. Nothing fancy. You know, sweating in this truck took me way back. It took me way back. Do y'all remember? Yo, let me tell you something. Do y'all remember when I was in the camper and I first started cooking in the camper when I got the burners? Oh, do y'all remember the vegan barbecue tacos that I made in the camper? Your girl was in that camper like this. Yo estoy sudando, like I'm about to pass out. I was drinking so much water because I was sweating all the water out. Like it was hot in that truck. Oh my God. And do y'all remember when that girl, she made me, oh my God, let me tell you something. I kept all the letters and I need to find and cross-reference everyone so to see if you guys have the same address because I have to write a letter about all the gifts and every single thing because that was so crazy. Like I remember going to the gas station and I was like, how much would you charge me to fill up this bucket with ice? And it was the end of the day, so I was being strategic. And I'm like, I know this small gas station is really not going to charge me a lot of money for ice, right? I was like, they were like, oh, the ice bags are outside. I was like, no, but I want this ice because, you know, like, I need a lot of it and I will have to, like, buy all this ice. Like, how much would you hook me up with? Da-da-da-da-da. Boom. Let me have the ice that they dump out of the machine at the end of the day anyway, because I've worked in places and I know that you dump out the ice that's in the inside, because if not, it starts to get that like stagnated taste. Unless these food places are dirty. But let me tell you something. If the place that you buying your food or your drinks is not throwing out that ice, they gross and you need to throw it out at the end of the day. You need to, because then it's gonna have like that metallic metal taste. They're so subtle, but like people that really have a refined taste palette would know what it is. Un papi chulo. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman. Ooh, he got a job with benefits because he worked for FedEx. He worked for FedEx and he got the FedEx truck, the big truck. Hashtag glow bien. He got a sleeve too. Hold on. I washed my hair today. So my hair's all flat. Let me put on some mascara so I don't look crazy. Look. When the makeup tutorial gets thrown out the window because you see a cutie. Nikki, let me tell you something. You have missed the tutorials and I ain't mad at you, girl. Let me tell you something. I want to go to Holland so bad. So if you can help me seek asylum over there, because the US is not helping trans women like me. They ain't helping. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 with you. We've made a lot of advances, but here in the United States, we'll talk, Nikki. Imagine us talking and doing a podcast and just sharing our different experiences, you being where you're at and me being where I'm at. Not me putting the mirror out to keep looking at him like a creep. 'Cause I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the heck I'm doing here? I don't belong here. Ooh. I swear, I have a song for everything. For everything. Every moment, I just sing it out. Because you want to know something? If you're not treating your life as it's your own movie and your own musical, then what are you doing? Like, nobody said you can't just start singing out of nowhere. You know that that's an option. You know that if you stuck, and I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. People be like, girl, how do you not lose your mind? You have so much going on. Like, your life is aquí, ahí, pa allá, pa allá. Let me tell you, how I've been able to keep my sanity is literally when my brain is working on over mode and it's telling me a million things of like, what are you going to do? How are you going to accomplish this? You're a failure. You're this, you're that. And all these negative thoughts come bombarding my mind. You know what I do? I'm like, okay, y'all coming real strong right now. And I may not mentally be able to handle all this right now. So I'm going to disrupt this pattern of thinking and I'm going to burst out into a song and I'm going to keep singing and singing and singing until all those negative thoughts get the point and say, look, we're not welcome in her head. We don't pay rent here and she's letting us know. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. These intrusive thoughts in your head, think about it like they're a guest in your house, okay? So whenever that person who told you that you was worthless or you wasn't special enough or you wasn't good enough, whenever something bad that happened to you starts replaying in your head, I need you to remember that those intrusive thoughts are a guest in your house, in your brain, in your mind. And just as easy as they welcome themselves in, you have the power and the control to unwelcome them. And you know how I do it? I'll be blasting my music. Oh, you don't like my music? Well, then get out of my mind. Get out of my head. You don't pay no rent here. You don't pay no bills here. All right? That's period. Tú no pagas renta, tú no pagas luz, tú no pagas gas, tú no compre nada. So you're gonna either cooperate and you're gonna give me positive thoughts, or you're gonna get out of here with that negative, because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for these negative thoughts. And that's what you have to do. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you. This morning, yo no quería salir de la cama. I did not want to get out of bed. I literally was crying because I had to get out of the bed. And I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Had the biggest pity party. I was just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I was like, If at first you don't succeed, you got to brush your shoulders off and try again. Try again. Dust yourself off and try again. Try again. You know what I'm saying? And then I went like, you better get that dirt off your shoulders. Oh my God, I'm over here bonchinchando and there's 3 papi chulos on a patio fumando marijuana. Wow, they're fumando marijuana. They're smoking weed. Oh, it's legal here. Not them with the cuties. 3 cuties. They look like 23. They look like 23 and 25. Ew, mad young. I wish I could show y'all. I wish I could show. No, one of them with the orange. He looks a little older. Like a peach fuchsia color. Like the color. Oh my God, he's wearing the color of my eyeshadow. He's my boyfriend. I knew it. I knew it. He's my boyfriend. Hold on. Look at the color of his shirt. It's the color of my eyeshadow. My future baby daddy. I knew it. I knew it. I knew to use this color because my future baby daddy was going to wear it. Oh my God. I manifested my future baby daddy. Let me get out this core and get his number. Let me get out this core and get his number. Oh my God. My future baby daddy. And he got the shoes to match. Ew, he a little chicken nugget because he had to sit on a chair. He had to stand on a chair. And I like little chicken nuggets. Ew. I need a thing to put up my hair and I don't have anything. Espérate. I'm going to just use a makeup brush and just put my hair up. Like that. I look crazy, but I like it. Just take out a little curls in the back like that. Take out your side pieces. You know, I forgot that I issued this as a challenge to Nikki Tutorials, and I'm just going on. And I'm like, Nikki probably done stopped watching this. She's like, girl, you are too much. I ain't got time for all this energy. Challenge not accepted. And I'm like, come on, Nikki. It's all in good fun. Like, I never said there was a time limit. I just said that you had to do a makeup tutorial from start to finish. No edits, no recuts, and make it user-friendly for, like, somebody who's just trying. I haven't even put on blush. Forget about it. Once I put on the blush, it's going to be on and popping. A girl's not going to know how to act. And I got my nails done. The little press-on nails. And you know what? These press-on nails, they were from Dollar Tree. I saw the package. Please, they were from Dollar Tree. QQQ. You better go to Dollar Tree and act bougie and act brand new. I put the blush in the back so that your face could look lifted. You see? Just like a little lifted. And that's it. And then whatever's left of the blush, I just do like this. And I did all of this with a Real Technique sponge, and it's mad old. Mad old. All right, and that's it. Oh, there's an apartment for rent there. Let me find out. I'm about to move in next door to my baby daddy. Next door to my baby daddy. You know how I'm going to get him? Let me tell you. If I moved into that apartment, because they have an apartment for rent, but it probably costs mad money. But if I moved into that apartment, you know what I would do? You know what I would do? The first night that I'm there and I unpack everything, this is how you get them. This is how you get them. Listen. You make something with sofrito in it. And you have the pot nice and hot. You put a little bit of that oil and you drop that sofrito there and they hear the sizzle and the smell just starts wafting. They're gonna be like, because you know, men, when they be single, they be eating like Taco Bell and all that type of stuff. Y comida afuera, right? They be eating outside food. And then, let me tell you something. I feel like, and we're going to talk. We're going to have girl talk. I don't care. Boy talk, whatever. We're going to talk. We could talk. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are. We having a conversation. And it could be catered to what you like. But I realized that boys, they, when they say they know how to cook, all they know how to really cook is like chicken and rice. Chicken and rice. Especially like the ones that be working out and stuff like that, because they be counting their micros and stuff like that, their macros and stuff like that. I don't know what that is. I don't be counting nothing. I'll be like, you know what's the one thing I be counting? How many garlic cloves I'm putting in my food. That's the only counting I'm doing. I'm just measuring by eye. Like, I feel like cooking is an all sensory experience. You gotta taste, smell, touch, everything. Ew, not me. All they be knowing how to make is chicken and rice. So I move into the apartment right adjacent to them. And I start making something with sofrito, like some patelitos and stuff. And I make like 20 of them. And then the smell is going to be hitting. So what I'll do is I'll make a little basket. I'll make a little basket with a little jar of sofrito, some patelitos, half cooked, half frozen. Maybe give them two of the meat and cheese with maduros and avocado. And then the other two, a guava and a cheese. And then a little jar of sofrito, bring it in a little basket and say, hi, neighbors. And then they're going to be like, oh, hi, we didn't expect this. Like, who gives their neighbors stuff like that? And I'll be like, yeah, this is like something from my culture. These are called patelitos. And they're filled with this and that. And this is like kind of like our base is called sofrito, and like teach them a little bit about it. And then they're gonna be like, oh, that's cool. And I'll be like, yeah, if you guys are ever interested on like things that you can make with sofrito, just follow me on my YouTube channel. And they'll be like, oh, you do YouTube? And I'll be like, yeah. It's kind of like a little hodgepodge of things, but you'll definitely leave smiling. And then they're going to be like, all right, that's what's up, definitely. And then I'm going to start creating a series of different ways to use sofrito. And then they're going to make something. And they're going to be like, so do you sell the sofrito? Because, like, we made, like, something with it. And I'm gonna be like, ew, what y'all made? And they're gonna be like, oh, we made like a chili. And we was thinking like, you know, we throw everything in the crock pot. We don't really be cooking. Like, we watch you, but, you know, like, we really don't be cooking. And I'm gonna be like, really? You should try the pastelito recipe, because I did that video live, and you could just go ahead and watch it live. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go ahead, watch it live. I'm doing it in real time. Or if you're not busy, I can come over and I could show you one-on-one. And that's how I'm going to get him. And then once I'm in the kitchen and I'm chefing it up, we're going to be bumping elbows and stuff. And he's going to be looking at me from the side. And he's going to be like, yo, her skin is mad radiant and beautiful. Like, she takes really good care of her skin. And, you know, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to be like, you looking at my skin, right? And he's going to be like, oddly enough, yeah. And I'm going to be like, yeah, it's that Fenty Skin, hashtag not sponsored. But I'm just waiting for that phone call from Riri to call me to tell me that she ready for me to be her brand ambassador or whatever. But until then, I'm just going to sit here and glow so much that it caught you looking. And he's going to be like, oh, so you're going to give me some slack about that? And I'm going to be like, I got to tease you a little bit. I mean, just because I'm showing you how to cook don't mean that I can't easily incorporate myself in your life and make this a common thing, you know, if you act right. And he's gonna be like, ew, a woman who knows what she wants and she going after me. And I'm gonna be like, ew, who is this? Because this is not me. Michelle is mad shy. This must be Diamond or whatever. But you know, when you feel confident about your cooking, when you feel real confident about your cooking, that's your superpower. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing. And I'm attracting all the men. Oh, he got a Tesla. Espérate. Daddy got a Tesla. Daddy got a Tesla. Oh, no, I thought he got a Tesla, but he didn't have a Tesla. He kept walking past the Tesla. Ew, what kind of car he got? Oh, Daddy got a navigator. He got a navigator. Daddy got a navigator. He got a navigator. Daddy got a navigator. He got a navigator. Beep, beep. Ooh. Ooh, he got out the car. I think he heard me. I think he heard me. He was like, Daddy got what? Oh, you was disappointed that I didn't have a Tesla. Now you talking about Daddy got a navigator. And I'm going to be like, first of all, don't be talking to me out your neck like that. Yes, I was singing because I thought that you had a Tesla, but now you don't got a Tesla. Now you got a navigator. I still stand by what I said. I wanted a daddy with a Tesla, but since you got a navigator, you could do. But since you acting up right now and now you trying to press me on it, I don't think I even want to talk to you. So I'm going to roll up my window and say goodbye. And look, and he got in his car and now he's leaving. Yo, y'all probably think I'm mad crazy, but it is what... Oh, my God. Hold on. Okay. An update. The 2 guys that was with my baby daddy, they're leaving. And they're getting in a Pinto. No, they don't got a Pinto. He got a Lexus, actually. So I think that my baby daddy with the shirt that was the matching color of my thing, I think that he is the owner of that apartment. Look, there's another one with the color. Oh, my God. Is he fighting for my love? No, that's the baby daddy. That's the baby daddy with the orange, because he has the same sneakers. Oh my God, a twist of fate. I thought my baby daddy was up in the apartment and he was down here. My baby daddy just walked past me and he saw me. Oh my God, I knew that this was a magical day. Oh. All right, let me get out of here. Let me go to the post office and deal with this nonsense. So until next time, Nikki Tutorials, you got to admit it. I am definitely a trip and I'm not boring and you will never have a boring moment. So, I don't know, help a girl out. Consider mentoring me. It's good to have more than enough because then you could reel it in. If I wasn't giving enough energy, then it's like, you're going to have to really crank it up. But I got too much. I got too much energy. So now I know I have to reel it in. But, I'm ready to be coached. All right. Love you. Bendiciones.